And this is and for context, for anyone that's listening who's an aspiring writer, these are all things that it took me 11 years to learn. Um, So it's not something that I just like figured out overnight. Like it took me a while to learn. It took me like just being really patient and asking a lot of questions. But the traditional route is, you write something that's really good, or you write your story. You have an idea, you write the book, right? You have a full manuscript, first draft, you revise it. However, it is you approach revision. Maybe it's rewriting the whole thing without looking at it. Maybe it's rewriting the thing, one document next to the other. Maybe it's like your rewrite is opening that same document and just going through and just moving paragraphs around and typing as you go. Whatever rewriting revision is, that's what that second round is. And then you just continue to do that, hopefully, until it gets to a place where you're confident that you fine tune enough. You have readers look at it, people you trust, whether it's someone you know who loves books, somebody from your book club, somebody who you hang out with at the barbershop or at the nail salon, somebody who actually edits, or you pay some money and take a workshop online or whatever the case may be. However it is that you share. And what I often tell writers is find ways to do that for free first, right? So you writing and revising and editing and reading it out loud and reading it out loud, and then sharing it with people who you trust that will give you feedback, honest, critical feedback. And that's free, right? And then, you take them out to lunch or whatever, take them out to dinner or cook for them, like take them to a movie, take them to a show, because you're asking them to give you their time and attention and energy to get as much done as you can for free. Then you have to look around and go, okay, what else can I do? Now, if you have the resources financially to pay for a workshop, great, do it. If you're confident that you don't need that because the feedback you got from your friends was enough, great. The next step is you're going to query. So traditionally, I'm not going to say exactly how I instruct my writers to do it. I'm just going to tell you the traditional route, which is you query to an agent or agents, plural, and then somebody loves it. If no one loves it, you won't hear anything. But if someone loves it, great. And then that agent hopefully is going to work with you on getting it in shape so that it's ready to go out on submission. And then it goes out on submission. And then you meet with editors or you hear from an editor, or sometimes it's an exclusive or a preempt, whatever the case may be. And then hopefully there's a book contract that comes with it, whether it's a one book deal or a two book deal or a three-book deal, whatever the case. And then hopefully after you doing your due diligence, you sign a book contract. And then the collaboration begins on the publishing side with the editor, with publicity, with marketing, etc.
Yep. And then so from there, the blacklist comes and helps navigate. And what part of that kind of?
Yeah. So listen, a lot of people will query. There is no guarantee. Agents don't have to guarantee that they will read your query. Agents are getting hit from everybody. Like their inboxes are insane. Um, and that's the business. Like that is the business. They have a lot of submissions that come into their inbox from writers who would love for them to rep their work and them. Um, And people might say, oh, it's gatekeeping. Well, it's really just time management. There's just not enough time in the day. Like, think about it. If your inbox has 1,500 submissions in it, and that's in like a month, 2 months, 4 months, right? So in 4 months, you have 1,500 submissions. That means in the next four, you're going to have 1,500 more. And then the next four, you're going to have 50. So at what point do you just like how do you manage all of that while still living your life? Like obviously you have your duties at work, but then you're a human being. There might be family, domestic stuff that's going on. And so, you're trying to do the best that you can. And I'm saying all of this not as an agent, not as a publisher. I am a fiction writer. I too hope to query one day. What the blacklist is another tool that writers and industry members can use. So we're not taking away the query part of the process. Like when I talk to writers, I'll be talking to writers at a college next week. I talked to writers at a college 2 weeks ago. This is what I do. Like I go around, I talk to writers about the ins and outs. And I tell writers, query.
Yeah.
You should query, like do it. Like if you have something that you know is ready, you've taken it as far as you could take it, send it out. Like do your due diligence. Make sure you know which agents that project should be going to, and send it out. Like do everything right. Do the query letter right. Address it the way they want you to address it to them. Do every like comp titles, all of it. Sell that book. At the same time, there is another option that you can use as well. You can use the blacklist. You can create a free profile and you can list your project for free. That is not uploading the project, that's listing it for free. So what listing is in your bio, you're going to have a section where it asks, do you want to mention any of your projects? And you say yes, and you type in your title, then you type in a short description of the project, and then you tag that project with over 600 tags on the site. We give you up to 20 that you can choose, but it's over 600 to choose from. And some of those titles some of those tags are like hero's journey, good versus evil, protagonists, Christianity, sexuality, identity, and you can choose from those. And that helps industry members when they're searching for those things specifically. Your project now becomes a part of those results. So that's free. And that's for anybody that's like, I'm skeptical. I don't trust y'all all the way. I don't know how this site works. Okay. Well, you can create a free profile. And you can list your project for free. That comes at no cost to you. So while you're querying, you can do that, right? What happens is I get hit from writers in my inbox and they say, I've been querying for 9 months. No one's responding. Should I buy an evaluation on your site? Here's the thing. Full transparency, because we love transparency at the Blacklist. Hosting a project on the Blacklist website is $30 a month. The evaluation is 150. The evaluation is for the excerpt of your novel, not the full manuscript. So if you're going to use the Blacklist website and upload, you're uploading the full manuscript as one file. And then you're uploading a second file, and that's the first 90 to 100 pages of your project. So two different files.
Yeah.
You upload them. You pay your $30 a month. And that gives industry members access to look at your project. So if I read your pitch that's in your profile and I love that book, I can click and start reading your project. I can download it as an industry member. And you, as a writer, get to toggle the privacy settings. So obviously, no writers on the site can see your work, but the industry members can if you make it public. And you get to play with those settings as you see fit. You also keep the rights to that project. At no point does the blacklist own the rights to any projects on the site. Furthermore, if you get a book deal from your project being on the site, great. Congratulations. Please tell us so that we can celebrate with you. But we don't get a piece of that book deal. That's between you, your agent, the publisher, and God, and the tax man, because the tax man coming. But that's it. We're just a force amplifier. We're a two-way marketplace where writers can bring in their great work and industry members can find it. If you choose to pay for an evaluation, that 150, $100 of that 150 goes to the reader who we hire freelance, who has industry experience evaluating fiction.
So what does the feedback look like for a writer? So like they get it, like is it it gives them a score, how they know, and then what do they do with that information? Do they
Yeah.
say, hey, well, I know you all kind of help with the publisher side, but even if no publisher picks it up from the blacklist side, are they like, hey, I got a 7 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 on the blacklist? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the evaluation is threefold. One is there's a written part of the evaluation. There are scores that rank from 1 to 10 on the components of the project, and then there's the overall score. The component scores are for things like prose, theme, character development, dialogue, pace, originality, creativity, things that agents and publishers are looking for. Furthermore, the overall score is not connected to the component scores. So let's say on themes, I get an 8 out of 10. And on dialogue, I get like a 5 out of 10. And on creativity, I get a 6 out of 10. That doesn't mean that my score is going to weigh out the way overall. The overall score comes from the spirit of the original survey of the blacklist, which is on the scale of 1 to 10, as a reader, how likely are you to take that project and give it to your boss? How likely are you to take that project and run around and say, y'all got to read this? This is amazing. How likely are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to, like, if you yourself could acquire that book, how likely are you to say, "Hey, boss man, I'm acquiring this book. This is the real deal." On a scale of 1 to 10, the excitement level of it, because the way that the blacklist has worked all these years for 20 years is we've created a swell effect for things that get overlooked. So it's not just one person saying that project is good. It's another person, then another person, then another person. And now everybody else is going, well, if everyone else is saying it's good, then I might need to take a look at that too. It doesn't mean that it's going to change my mind, but it definitely means that I need to give that a second look. And then the written part of the evaluation are three sections: the project's, the excerpt's greatest strengths, the excerpt's greatest weaknesses, and the industry prospects of that project. What that means is if you are a writer who pays for an evaluation, we are guaranteeing you that all three of those things, overall score, component scores, written, you are going to get feedback on. We cannot guarantee you that you will get visibility on your project. It is definitely a possibility on that site. But what we are guaranteeing you is no matter what, you are paying for an evaluation and you're going to get an evaluation. On the industry prospects, it does not matter if you score a 4 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. That reader is obligated to give you the industry prospects on your book. So that means, regardless of what's said in the weaknesses section, that reader is still going to tell you about, from an industry side, here's some comp titles you need to think about. Here are some writers who write in a similar style. Here's some publishers that might be interested in a book like this. Here's some awards and some fellowships that this person should be thinking about. That is gold. Because when you query, there's no guarantee that someone's even going to reach back out and say, "Hey, I'm looking at this now." There's no guarantee. And so my advice is always weigh all your options, think about where you are financially, and make the decision that is going to serve you best.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookupapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.